Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. Um, it's it's tough subject matter we're tackling today.
Yeah?
The kind of news that really makes you pause. Liam Payne,
Yeah.
1/5 of One Direction, gone at only 31.
It's incredibly sad news.
And you're here with us because you want to know what happened, how it happened, and we're right there with you.
Absolutely. Well, we're gonna unpack it all
They've been
together.
poring over the details, and we're going to try to make sense of this tragedy together. So let's jump right in.
Yeah, for sure. The Daily Mail is reporting it as a tragic accident, and they've laid out a timeline of events as they understand them.
So the article states that Liam was in Buenos Aires, Argentina, actually for a pretty special reason. We'll discuss a little later in the deep dive, but
Yeah.
tragically, he was at the Casa Sur Palmero Hotel and reportedly fell from the third floor.
It's just awful.
It seems like it happened around 5 p.m. a local time, and the article even mentions a tent being set up outside the hotel by emergency services.
Yeah.
The detail, it paints such a vivid and heartbreaking picture of the scene.
It really does. It's those little details that make it all feel so real, so immediate.
And so very real.
Tragically, the injuries were just too severe. The article actually quotes Alberto Crescenti, a spokesperson for the city ambulance service.
Oh, wow.
And he said that Liam fell almost 40 meters.
My gosh.
To put that into perspective, that's like falling from a 13-story building.
Oh, my goodness.
Crescenti went on to say that the injuries were incompatible with life and that there was no possibility of resuscitating him, which is just devastating.
It's just awful. And it's especially hard-hitting considering why Liam was even in Buenos Aires. He was just seen at former bandmate Neil Horan's concert. Can you believe that?
I know, it's almost impossible to process those two pieces of information side by side. One minute he's celebrating music with a friend and the next.
Yeah.
It really does make you think about how fragile life can be,
It's true.
especially in a world that often feels so fast-paced and unforgiving,
Yeah.
you know?
It's true. Yeah. And to really get a grasp on Liam's story, we have to go back to where it all began. The band that launched him into superstardom, One Direction. I mean, everyone knows the name, but their rise was truly something special, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It
Where-
was like watching a pop culture fairy tale unfold in real time, right?
Yeah.
It all starts back in 2010 on the set of X Factor 5 Young Guys.
Yeah.
Liam Neal, Zayn, Harry, and Louis all auditioning as solo artists, probably never imagining they become part of, the biggest boy band in the world.
It's wild to think about, and that's where Simon Cowell, that music mogul with the golden touch for spotting talent, comes in, right?
Exactly. Simon Cowell and Nicole Scherzinger, they were the judges on the show that season,
Yeah.
and they saw something unique in these five, something that went beyond their individual talents. So they took a chance, a really bold move, actually, and they put them together as a group.
Wow.
It was unheard of at the time, the first time judges had ever formed a band on X Factor.
Talk about a gamble that paid off big time.
A gamble that redefined pop music. Cowell actually said later on that it only took him about a millionth of a second to see the group's potential.
Wow.
He knew what he was looking at, and boy, was he right.
Yeah.
One Direction. Mania swept the globe practically overnight.
Yeah.
I mean, the fans weren't just fans, they were completely devoted.
Yeah.
Like, remember the trending hashtags, the absolute frenzy?
Oh, yeah. It was a phenomenon. I mean, I remember it vividly. It felt like everyone was caught up in it.
Everyone. And it wasn't just hype. Their music had this infectious energy that was impossible to resist. You couldn't help but sing along to those songs.
So true.
Their debut single, What Makes You Beautiful, it wasn't just a hit. It skyrocketed to #1 on the UK charts. It became Sony Music Entertainment's most pre-ordered single ever. 1 million pre-orders. Just let that sink in.
Wow, 1 million.
1 million. And then their debut album, Up All Night, became the UK's fastest-selling debut album of 2011. That same year, they went on their first tour, sold-out arenas, screaming fans the whole 9 yards. One Direction wasn't just a band at that point. They were a global phenomenon.
It's an incredible story. From reality show hopefuls to international superstars in such a short amount of time.
But even for a band as massive as One Direction, it wasn't always smooth sailing, right?
That's right. In 2015, Zayn Malik's departure from the band sent shockwaves through the fandom. It was huge news. And it eventually led to One Direction deciding to take a break, a hiatus, to give each member a chance to pursue their own individual projects.
And that's such a pivotal moment to consider, especially in light of everything that's happened, because you have to wonder, did that spark a period of introspection for Liam? A chance to redefine himself as an artist outside of this massive group?
It's a question that I think
Yeah.
we'll be pondering for some time.
And during that break from One Direction, Liam started a family of his own.
He did, yeah. His relationship with Cheryl Cole was highly publicized, and they had their son, Bear Gray, in 2017.
Right.
It gave us a glimpse into a different side of Liam. A side we didn't see as much of during the peak of One Direction fame. The devoted partner, the young father. It adds another layer to his story for sure. It makes you think about the man behind the music, the dreams he had, the love he shared. And musically, Liam didn't just stop there. He was really starting to make waves as a solo artist.
Absolutely not. His solo career was just taking off. Strip that down. Comes to mind.
Oh, huge hit.
Massive. It showed a whole new dimension to his artistry, a more mature sound.
Mm-hmm.
And it really resonated with people. Peaked at #3 in the UK and went triple platinum in the US. He was proving that he could stand on his own 2 feet, make his own mark in the music world.
Which makes this whole thing even more tragic. All these paths he was exploring cut short.
It does. It's a real loss.
Yeah,
But even in the face of this tragedy, the music remains. That's something we can always hold on to.
that's powerful.
Liam's voice, his words, they're woven into the fabric of pop culture. They evoke memories. They connect people across the world. That's a powerful legacy to leave behind.
It really is. And as we're talking about this, it makes me think about how important it is to cherish the artists who touch our lives, to revisit the songs that hold special meaning, to celebrate the joy they bring. So to everyone listening, take a moment today. Put on your favorite Liam Payne song, let the music wash over you, and remember the incredible mark he made on the world. It's been a tough, deep dive today, but sometimes facing difficult realities helps us appreciate the beauty around us even more.